Hey y'all, this is S. Patrick Brooks from the Heavy Underground Farm Report. Today we have an interview with Shane and Lance from the Midwest Doom Coalition. These guys are organizing bands and promoters and media, getting the Doom scene rolling in the Midwest, which is a hot spot anyway, but these guys are making it happen even bigger. So let's get right to it, man. I've got Shane and Lance of the Midwest Doom Coalition. Yeah. That's up to you. Hey guys, this is S. Patrick Brooks with a Heavy Underground Farm Report. And today I'm joined by Shane and Lance from the Midwest Doom Coalition. I am super stoked to have these guys on. They have a mission for our scene that I'm super excited about it. So I want to go ahead and talk to them about what their plans are. But first of all, Shane, thanks for being here. Lance, thanks for being here. Could you guys just give us a brief background, your involvement in the scene, bands that you're either currently involved in or that you have been involved in? Shane, I'll let you go first, and Lance will let you jump in next.
Actually, I'm going to let him go first while I load a bowl.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are priorities on this show. So, Lance, go ahead, bud.
I've been, playing in this scene for years and years, and I just recently left a band this weekend, as a matter of fact. So
you're in Gurney, is that correct?
Yeah. I just left Gurney, and it's kind of hard to. I don't really want to talk. I mean, I'm not going to air any dirty laundry. It's just. It is what it is, but I will be putting something together shortly and coming back. Let's see.
Talk about the old days.
Oh yeah. Well, back in the way old days, I was in a band, Down the Sun. We were on Roadrunner Records. Slipknot actually, helped get us signed, and toured with Slayer and Soulfly and Flames, did that whole thing. And then I took a hiatus for several years and then came back. And, my heart's always been in the sludge, doom, stoner realm. So, this time I get to do it, my way. And I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah. We've been around a long time. Shane and I have known each other how long?
Got to be close to 30 years.
30 years?
Early 90s. Something
like we've been playing in different bands in this scene. And, we just want to build.
Did you go to the Outhouse?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The legendary.
Are you guys from Kansas City or?
I live in Kansas City, Missouri, and he's from Lawrence here.
Okay.
Lawrence,
right
Kansas.
across the border there.
Yeah.
I used to work for Sprint, so I spent a lot of time there.
Oh, right on. Yeah. We're 35 minutes from Kansas City.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, awesome. Well, Lance, I appreciate that. Shane, what's your you're in a band called They Watch Us from the Moon that I've been listening to quite a bit over the last week. You guys are awesome. Tell me a little bit about your background, your band, Shane.
My background, like I mentioned a second ago, started back in the 80s at a club here in Lawrence called the Outhouse, which is a kind of a scene, famous punk rock, hardcore metal,
the CBGBs of the Midwest.
CBGBs of the Midwest, for sure. William Burroughs used to do shotgun art that now hangs in the Smithsonian in the parking lot before shows. I used to watch as a kid, stuff like that. Got to meet Allen Ginsberg because of him, stuff. I mean, it's just Lawrence is a crazy place. Yeah, Lawrence was a crazy place back then. I grew up doing that kind of stuff, as a teenager, Outhouse and punk rock, and started booking shows in the late 80s and 90s with my punk rock bands, and then progressed into heavier music throughout the 80s and 90s. And I saw Sleep for the first time open up for Hawkwind in like 1993 or something weird.
Life-changing thing, yeah.
Clutch, their song "Give Me the Keys" is about a show that they played at the Outhouse in the early '90s that I was at.
Oh, cool.
In which the
That's
sound man
awesome.
pulled a gun on him. So I was at that Clutch show.
Hell yeah,
That song's
have
about
deep roots in the scene, man.
it's pretty.
A lot of people in the stoner doom scene seem to either have roots in punk rock or roots in thrash. That's interesting. You guys are bringing both sides of that.
Well, what's funny is I saw Caius at the Outhouse open up for the Dwarves because they were both on Sub Pop Records for a time, and they were sent out on tour with each other, and that was just absolutely insane. Yeah, I mean, I go back with stoner rock, and Josh one time, and from Caius, Queens of the Stone Age. Now they asked him, like, what did you think you were doing with Caius? And he's like, I swear to God, we thought we were picking up where Black Flag left off. So,
yeah, man, that's cool.
Punk rock and stoner rock were cousins.
Great.
There would never be stoner rock without punk rock. So
no,
for me, it was a natural
punk rock background too. I absolutely identify with that and
yeah,
the bands that you're talking about. That's awesome. Well, you guys have a deep rooted interest in local scenes and kind of alternative scenes, punk rock and thrash and now stoner rock. Tell me, guys, you founded the Midwest Doom Coalition. I want to talk about that. So tell me, like, I'm just going to let you guys go. Tell me what it's about, just to start, and maybe where you got the idea or what inspired the idea. I'm just going to let you go.
Well, the idea really sparks back to the old punk rock days and hardcore days, because that's the kind of shit that we did as kids. Is we would all have, I mean, geez, I was part of a couple, 3 different organizations with initials back then. It was just things that punk rock kids, hardcore kids did, was we rallied around each other and made shit happen for each other. There's sayings back in the hardcore days. Yeah. Like, we all go up together, I go up, you go up. If I get a record deal, you're the next dude up the rung. It was always about lifting other people up so we can all do things together. We lift ourselves out of the gutter, I mean, that's
did you
pretty
find
much.
there was a lack of cohesion or a lack of communication between bands that necessitated a more organized approach?
Well, yeah, I mean, for a lot of bands, they kind of operate just singular and, at chaotic levels at that, with no real direction in what they're doing, marketing wise, or why they're doing anything at all. And like he was saying, in his past and our past, we have a very particular professional past and heavy music. And what I tell people all the time is, being a rock star is such a fantastical thing that you're willing to believe your bullshit about doing it. And what they don't realize when I tell them is, like, there's a formula to it. And if you're not following the formula, you're never going to do it. You're never going to get there. You won't make a fucking hill of beans worth of difference doing anything, because if you're not following that formula, you're done.
What do you think the most important step to begin with in that formula is?
It's always been the same thing since the dawn of rock and roll, which is putting yourself in the view of the public. And a lot of people don't understand how to do that in the digital age. And it used to be where you could put up flyers and go play shows, and there were people that just went out to see things. And now, with financial things are for people and the way the world works, people don't go to things unless they're events, and they pick and choose what it is they're doing, because they don't have extra money to go party on Tuesday. I have X amount of money to go party on this one time a month, and I'm going to pick the thing that I want to go do. So if you don't appeal to people in that vision of their life, they're never coming to your show. It's never going to happen. There's band after band after band here that plays the empty rooms over and over and over again because they cannot figure out how to put their visual in front of people that want to go to their shows.
So
that's the most important thing, is figuring out how to And today that's social media.
You're pretty good at social media. That's how we met, obviously.
Yeah.
I think it's important too. I really do think, like, I I can't, I had a band recently hand me a handbill for their next show, and it was like, man, it was cool because I haven't had that happen in so long. But yeah, generally I find out about shows through Facebook or the internet or in some capacity, Instagram. What are you guys focusing on? Facebook as your main reach, or are you also exploring other options like Instagram, or what's the new one, Blue Sky? Or
We're doing Facebook and Instagram right now. Kind of doing what we can do to control the chaos as much as possible, because as it is the nature of things, we can't work with every band that there is. So we're trying to be choosy about the people that are trying to do something significant and working with those folks and keeping the family kind of tight for now.
Shane,
but we've already had a lot of people ask for chapters, which we're going to do.
People that actually put in the work, like really are, that really want it.
How do they show you that? How when you look at a band, say you look at two bands, you're like, man, this band is working it, and they're going to move forward, and they're interested in that. And then you look at the second band, and they're like, man, these guys are stagnant. What's the big difference? Is it?
I'll tell you exactly. I'm gonna call out the motherfuckers. That is a trillion-ton beryllium ships. They're from Nebraska, and as soon, I was like hours after we launched the Facebook page, they were working. And they were working it.
Yeah, and, I'm going to interview those guys. They are working it.
So was Grave Next Door. Like they were on it. Like they immediately understood the assignment, immediately understood what was going on, and they immediately attached to the idea and started sharing everything that came across the page. Bingo, they got it. And there's some people that just sit there like, "What's going on?" Well, follow the leader, man. Look what these guys are doing. Do that.
Yeah, Shadow and Jupiter is another band that stood out to me.
Oh yeah.
They jumped on, and I know Colin personally, and he's also media savvy and a good writer. And yeah, exactly. I think we've talked about these kind of things too. It's like your bands are great, and more people need to hear them. I think you guys are moving in the right direction to make that happen. That's pretty exciting.
Just trying to bring everybody together into the circle and figure out how to go in the same direction at the same time and make it beneficial for everybody. We've got a lot of plans coming up. There's a lot of cool stuff coming.
Shane, you mentioned the idea of chapters. I found it interesting that you guys chose like a motorcycle club approach to this. I think that's unique and pretty fascinating. Are you looking to have like regional chapters or local chapters, or like are you guys going to do that Turbo Jugend thing where you like have guys with battle jackets and your colors, or anything like that?
Yeah, we're looking to set up chapters. We've already had some people interested in Colorado and Texas and Nebraska and a few other places further away. I've had some people call from California and Pennsylvania and Europe and Canada and all over. So
is the Midwest Doom Coalition maybe geographically, do you need to widen that, or do you want to focus on bands in the Midwest in your region and build that first?
We're going to focus on bands in the region first and build that, but the whole idea was to help bands in the United States Midwest get out of here. And the best way to do that is to meet other people and collaborate and network with them and get to where they are and bring them here as a collab.
Shows, team up and do Midwest Doom Coalition mini tours together and just spread our kind of music, spread it out there, for people.
That's interesting that you talk about tours. Will you try to have bands brand those tours as Midwest Doom Coalition?
Yeah, we'll set them up. Yeah, we'll set them up.
Yeah, cool.
We'll
awesome.
Get bands and book tours, collaborate between the bands on the tour. Like you're going to book X amount in your region, you're going to book X amount in your region. I'm going to book X amount in this region, and then boom, you got a tour, and we'll Midwest Doom
Awesome.
Coalition tours. We're working on festivals, like multi-day festivals. We're working on compilations and showcases. And
I was going to ask you about festivals. So it's a very festival-driven musical genre. Things like Ripple Fest and Planet Desert Rock and Maryland Doom Fest are all huge events. Would you guys be interested in setting something up like that in Kansas City or another Midwest city?
the first one's going to be in Lawrence, Kansas.
Hell yeah.
That's where I booked shows different places here already. The Bottleneck here in town being the big one. But
Lawrence
we
is
just
like
got
Boulder, Colorado. It's like a little island of its own out there in Kansas, isn't it?
yeah. It's exactly right. Exactly right. Big university town, a lot of art and culture going on.
Perfect.
Stuff like that.
Then you got Dirty KC just across the border.
Yep.
I spent a lot of time there. I know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah.
I think there's something about the Midwest that really conjures some of the best rock and roll from the past and currently now. Do you think there's something going on in the Midwest that makes it such a hot spot for rock and roll?
Yeah, there's nothing to fucking do here.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah. All right. Do you think it is like boredom driven? Like, that's interesting.
100%.
I didn't really think about that.
100%, man. I mean, yeah, there's things to do, but I mean,
we're landlocked.
Kansas City has things going on. There's lots of things going on. Lawrence has lots of things going on. There's a vibrant culture of music and art and all that kind of stuff in both cities, and it's wonderful. But it operates on a micro scale compared to Chicago, Denver, Dallas, which are all like 10-hour shots from here. So they're real easy to get to for playing shows. Yeah. And we get all those bands come through here. And this goes back to the Outhouse days. Bands would come through here because it's the best avenue from east to west coast and then back again. We used to get Agnostic Front and Sick of It All through here 2 or 3 times a year because they were back and forth across the country all the time.
Sure, I think we get that in Denver too. Sure.
Yeah, and stoner rock bands because I book bands, Bongzilla, Yob, Mothership a few years ago, Coven. I've booked tons of stoner rock and doom metal bands here that they're trying to get from one side of the country to the other. You got to pick up dollars on the way, and this is a prime spot to do it.
So you guys get good attendance at those shows?
Hell yeah!
I know.
Oh, hundreds of people. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Depending on the band too, there's a couple of different venues, different sizes here. Yeah, man. There's actually, I'm a part of a little music collective thing, and I was talking to one of the major venue owners here in Lawrence. This is a few months ago, and this meeting, he just came out and told us like the biggest ticket holder across any of his 4 venues is metal.
Hell yeah.
Heavy music outsells country, hip hop.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Man, that's cool.
And a big chunk of that is stoner and doom and those genres, because people might not realize this, but stoner doom is a humongously swift growing worldwide scene that is incredibly organized. Doom charts and Doomed and Stoned and these organizations that have brought the whole thing into worldwide view. And it matters now. It fucking matters,
man. You're right. It is getting big, and I appreciate you recognizing I'm like a voting member of the Doom Charts, and it's like quite an honor to be part of that. And then I went to Ripple Fest earlier this year, and there's electricity in the air about the scene. There's bands, just switch gears really quick from the Midwest Doom Coalition and talk about They Walk Us from the Moon. Your band, what I was really impressed about your band and a lot of bands from the Midwest, Shadows Jupiter. You guys aren't just like 3-chord punk rock bands, man. You guys are really deep, complex songwriting skills. Your songs are very interesting. They're intricate. How did that evolve from your punk rock background? Hell yeah. Honestly, I don't have any pictures of mushrooms to hang up. Sorry.
Oh, here.
All right, cool.
You got a drawer full.
Yeah, shit's on the other side of me, man. Right on. Well, cool. I do you think that actually, seriously, in all seriousness, some mind expansion has opened you up to wanting to hear different things than just 3-chord punk rock, which certainly I love too. So
I honestly, I mean, without cannabis and psilocybin, I never would have had any interest in opening up my mind like that, which sounds weird, but it's true. I came from a very staunch upbringing. I come from a cowboy family from the Flint Hills of Kansas, and my old man was a preacher. I'm a preacher's kid.
okay.
We're fucked up and dangerous at the same time. and alternative lifestyle, punk rock, whatever, early on to me was, even though I was a street punk, was very important to how I developed, and the experiences that came with it developed my musical taste and the idea that you're never done with that. A lot of people our age, because we're old, stop at their high school graduation is like the last time they started getting interested in new music, and that for him too, that's never stopped. There's always something new and cool to check out, and for me, stoner doom is kind of the new punk rock movement.
It is,
because a lot of it is like, you don't like what I'm doing, step to the fucking curb. I don't give a fuck.
Absolutely. I like that part of it too, man. Absolutely. That has a great deal of appeal to me. It's do you have any plans to, are you going to just keep it stoner doom at this point then? And,
at this point,
you don't have any plans. You're not going to start bringing in rap acts or anything.
No.
Perfect.
No. I mean, this is what we're into. This is what, this is what our particular, the two of us, and we kind of we were at a show.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, man, remember back in the day, wait a minute.
We were getting stoned.
Wait a minute. Remember back in the day, we used to fucking all do shit together? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, we should start a thing. And it just came out, Midwest Doom Coalition. And he was like, oh, and here we are.
I dig it, man. I'm going to ask you a couple specific questions about if I was a band and I wanted to be part of the Midwest Doom Coalition. What would be the first requirement I would need to fulfill to be part of your coalition to be an active member?
Come in, share your shit, be a part of the community, interact in a good way with people. Don't be a prick, really.
Have a decent amount of followers.
Have a decent amount of followers, or at least come in with the idea that, hey,
some shows under your belt.
Yeah. Be proactive in the thing, promote your shows, promote your things, promote other shows, promote other people's things. That's basically how you get jumped in. You get to start doing it.
Go to other people's shows.
Go to shows.
Support each other.
That's the best. What's the best way for a band to contact you? Is it through Facebook or Instagram directly?
Yeah, just go to the Facebook Midwest Doom Coalition. There's a business page and a group page. There's a chat that's attached to the group page. You should be able to click the chat thing at the top of the group page and send a request for the chat. And the chat's where all the action really happens. People post a lot of stuff on the pages and on the group page, but the real business is going down in the chat, and we're trying to hold that to just bands and industry folks and writers, critics, that kind of thing. We're trying to make things happen for the bands, and fan interaction and show promotion and marketing and stuff like that happens on the group page.
Yeah, that's a great idea. you guys, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. I think what you're doing is amazing and fantastic, and it's
Thanks.
definitely needed.
Thank you.
I want you guys to know that like my show's here for you guys. I'm gonna have an interview with 10 Ton. Gosh, help me.
Brilliant.
Yeah, those guys
Brilliant,
in the
brilliant.
next week or so.
Cool.
Hey, I got Stony Doom shirt on.
There you go.
I you know, I'm in this for the promotion of the music that I love. So just so you guys know, if there's things I can do to help you guys out, I'm here for you.
Awesome.
Like I said, I really appreciate what you're doing. I think it's important work. Thank you.
Well, likewise.
Yeah.
You know, what you do is equally as important, and thank you very much.
Yeah, we really appreciate having us.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Do you guys want to like promote anything else? Well, throw a shout out to anybody. I give you guys a couple minutes to say whatever you want.
Man, really, if for last words in this, I mean, please come and join us on our pages. There's Instagram, there's a Facebook. All the shout outs you would ever want to hear from us are on those pages. There's a lot of incredible bands from the Midwest that are representing on there that you can network with. Really, the power is in the group. You know, just be a part of what we're doing. Even if you're a fan, not in a band, come and support. Clicks matter. You know, and it sounds crazy, but it's true.
No,
You can still be, even if you're not in a band, you can still get involved.
Yep, true. If you're a musician looking for bands, you're going to find the people that you want to be with and play with in this group. We're growing every day. We are kind of like, you know, not trying to keep a lid on it, but like trying to keep it from being chaotic.
Yeah, it's in the beginning phases too, so we're like figuring it all out as we go as well. So be patient. You know, we're going to build this thing.
Too big, too fast just kills it. So we're trying to make sure it grows in a secure way, you know.
Right on. Well, you guys, if you want to come back on and talk about progress or anything else, you know, I'd love to have you guys back on anytime. Like I said, I'm going to do what I can to support your idea because I think it's fantastic, and anything that gets bands together and out on tour and making records, and you know, if we can get network record companies and all that kind of stuff, it would be good for all of us. So I definitely appreciate what you're doing.
Well, man, I'm going to hit you up when I get this new project going.
Please do.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love listening to new stuff, and if I can, like I said, you know, I mean, if I like it, I love talking about it. So
They Watch Us from the Moon has new stuff coming up too.
Yes.
So
hell yeah, dude, you guys are so good. Really, hey, you know what? I'm gonna plug your band really quick. So it's They Watch Us from the Moon. This is Shane's band. Really good stoner, doomy rock. It's got spacey elements. The vocals in particular are fantastic. Definitely like a step above the usual vocal quality in our genre. Fantastic. The songwriting is great. Definitely, I'll put a link in the video in the YouTube or the Facebook page. But yeah, you guys are really awesome. I really I appreciate what you're doing out there musically as well as what you're doing in the community. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet, you guys. Well, hey guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. We'll talk soon.
All right.
I know this was live, but I'm gonna repost it.
Sweet.
And once again, I appreciate your time greatly.
Same.
We'll be in touch, guys. This is S. Patrick Brooks with the Heavy Underground Farm Report. I've had Shane and Lance from the Midwest Doom Coalition. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a great day. Go smoke some weed now.
Yeah, thank you
guys.
Thanks.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording.
Bye.
You guys can hang out for a second.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being my live experiment too. We'll see how that went. And I'm dead serious. Like if there's bands you would like me to. Yeah.